Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we'll discuss one very important text. In fact, the entire book, Mukunda Mālā Stotra, is a very beautiful book. Very, very amazing verses. Written by a devotee called King Kulashekara. And he has written in a very simple Sanskrit, which is pretty simple to understand. And this personality all the time, he was hankering to get closer to the Lord. In that mood, this entire thing is written. And our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, around in 1950s, so Prabhupada wrote purports to 6 verses of Mukunda Mālā Stotra. There are more than 50 verses. He wrote around 6 verses, purports. And then later his disciple, Satswarup Maharaj, he completed the rest of the purports, and that's how the book Mukunda Mālā Stotra is published. And all the prayers in this book are very deep, very intense. So today we'll try to absorb ourselves in the first shloka of Mukunda Mālā Stotra. Shri Vallabheti Varadeti Daya Pareti Shri Vallabheti Varadeti Daya Pareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhava Lunthana Kovideti Bhakta Priyeti Bhava Lunthana Kovideti Natheti Naga Shayaneti Jagat Nivaseti Natheti Naga Shayaneti Jagat Nivaseti Alapinam Pratidinam Kuru Mam Mukunda Alapinam Pratidinam Kuru Mam Mukunda. So here the King Kulashekar is saying, Alapinam Pratidinam Kuru Mam Mukunda. Hey Mukunda. What do you mean by Mukunda? Obviously Krishna, yes. Yes, the one who gives mukti, Muktida, Mukunda. So the one who can give liberation. In fact, the only personality who can give liberation, who can help the living entity go beyond the cycle of birth and death is Krishna. There is no other personality. Sometimes people argue saying, no, even Lord Shiva can do that. Yes, Lord Shiva can do that. For that, what he does, what he chants in the ears of his devotee. What he chants? Rama. You see? Rama. So he acts as an instrument. Therefore, there is only one person who actually can give liberation, and that is Krishna, and his name is Mukunda. Nanda Maharaj would call Krishna as Mukunda. Because Krishna saved Nanda Maharaj from a calamity. Which calamity? Yes, Varuna's Dutas, they captured Nanda Maharaj at one point when he was taking bath. According to them, it was not appropriate time. Therefore, they were capturing him. And there are other Rajavasis who were calling him as Mukunda. Why? Yes. So many Leelas for that matter, where they could understand, he is our savior. He is our savior, Mukunda. And there are other personalities who would call Krishna as Mukunda when he was a small baby. Krishna didn't do anything when he was a small baby. Even before, not killing any demon for that matter. But still he was called as Mukunda. Why? See, Acharyas say that jiske mukh mein kund hai, that person, in whose mouth, the teeth are like beautiful kunda flowers. That person is called as Mukunda. That's called Mukunda. Therefore, as a baby also he was called as Mukunda. So here Kulshekhar is specially calling out to Krishna, Hey Mukunda. And see, what is his prayer? He's saying, Alapinam, Pratidinam, Kuru, Mam. Please empower me to recite every day. Dash. And that's what is the first 3 lines. He's saying, Oh Lord, please allow me, please empower me, or please make me recite your holy names every single day. That's a very important thing to note, that here, this person is having so much of taste for holy names, so much of taste, that he is saying that I want to recite. I want to recite all the time. And here specifically he is saying every day. Yes. But then it's not easy for anyone and everyone to recite the holy names of the Lord. Maybe we'll recite for some time for a break. Let me recite and feel relaxed. And when it comes to devotees, let me just finish 16 rounds and then relax. But look at this person, he's like, no, I want to recite the holy names. So a very wonderful thing that Srila Prabhupada writes in the purports. He says, those people who have disease, they cannot feel the sweetness what the king is feeling, what Kulshekhar is feeling. He's feeling the sweetness of the holy name. But those who feel the bitterness, that is because of the disease of jaundice. Because even the sweet sugar candy feels bitter for a person who has jaundice. And this is not my analogy or my comparison. Srila Rupa Goswami says this in Nectar of Instruction. Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sita Pavidya Pitoptarasanasya Narochikanu Kintvadarad Anudinam Khalu Saiva Jushta Swadvi Kramat Bhavati Tadgada Mulahantri. So Rupa Goswami is saying, Syat Krishna Nama Charita Adi. Lord's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, etc. is very bitter. For whom? For that person. Pitopta Rasanasya, whose tongue is afflicted with jaundice. Kisi ko hua tha jaundice yahan? So I heard that when you eat sugar candy or sugar at that time, it feels bitter. Was it the case? Oh, everything will taste bitter, you see. So naturally, our Acharya is saying that sweet sugar candy feels bitter at that time. And for us who are afflicted with jaundice as of now, sweet holy name feels bitter. Sweet glories of the Lord feels bitter. तो अभी करे तो क्या करे फिर? किंत्वादराद अनुदिनम खलु सैव जुष्टा. प्रतिदिन sweet खाते रहिए. Keep taking sugar candy. And that's the medicine for jaundice. And when you keep taking sugar candy every day, with time, the jaundice goes down and there is sweetness that the person starts feeling. अभी कैसे लेना है sugar candy? किंतु आदराद. With respect, with awe and reverence, you have to eat the sugar candy. And this sugar candy is holy name for us. This sugar candy is Krishna Katha for us. So with awe and reverence and respect, when we do our sadhana, what will happen? Every single day, slowly and steadily, the sweetness will start arising. And finally, from the root it will be removed. Kintvadarad anudinam khalusaiva jushta swadvi kramad bhavati tadgada mulahantri. Every single day, the person will start feeling sweetness, jaundice come hote, and finally, from the root, it will be removed. So this is a very, very hope-giving thing. Jo bitter lagta hai, wahi karna hai. So as of now, at this stage of sadhana bhakti, we might feel chanting, reading, hearing, or whatever. Initially, people when they chant one round, they feel very nice. Very nice, feeling calm, peaceful. At that time, I tell them, ठीक है बेटा, अब 16 rounds पे और फिर बताओ. Same calmness, peaceful रहता है तो अच्छा है. Yes. So initially, when people come out of ignorance, they feel good because there's a change in the activity. And people who have already perfected chanting the holy names offenselessly, they feel blissful. So ignorance is bliss, perfection is bliss. जो बीच में जो लड़ते झगड़ते वो हम लोग. We don't feel that bliss. But the hope is this, that somehow if we can move towards perfection, surely we'll feel the bliss, we'll feel the sweetness. And that's the hope-giving thing. And here specifically, King Kulshekhar is saying, Oh Lord, you please empower me. You please make me, Kuru, you please make me to chant your holy names. And specifically here, he's chanting some holy names. So I request you to count how many names are there in the shloka. First one, Shri Vallabha. Second, Vara Deiti. But this name is Varada. Yes. Third, Daya Para. Fourth, Bhakta Priya. Fifth, Bhava Lunthana Kovida. Sixth, Natha. Seventh, Naga Shayana. And eighth, Jagat Nasa. So these are the 8 names, which is chanting. The first name is Shri Vallabha. Shri Vallabha means that person who is very dear to Shri. That is Lakshmi. How much dear? Very dear. Now many times people feel that if we do Lakshmi Puja, Lakshmi will come home. But she is chanchala, she cannot stay for long. She might come, she might not stay for long. Then what is the way to call Lakshmi? You call that person who is very dear to Lakshmi. When he comes, she will also come. It is described in the spiritual world, not 1 or 2, Sahasra Lakshmis, they are serving the Lord. Chinta Mani Prakara Sadma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabhira Bhipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambhrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. How many Lakshmis? Sahasra Lakshmis are serving the Lord. There's a nice description which comes, which says that these Sahasra Lakshmis in Goloka, obviously the gopis, and in Vaikuntha, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devis. There are many, not 1 or 2. In this world, people know only Ashta or know some number. But actually, many Lakshmis are there. And you know what service they do in the spiritual world? They clean, they take a broomstick and they clean the entire floor. And the best part is, in Vaikuntha, do you think there will be any dust? Any dirt? So, kya kar rahe log? They'll keep cleaning. Some will be cleaning the ceiling, some will be cleaning the pillar. Why are they doing that? And the Acharyas say, to get the attention of the Lord, to get the mercy of the Lord. Ki dekhiye, seva kar rahi hai, matlab. Khali nahi baiti hai, seva kar rahi hai. And look at Lakshmi Devi's possessiveness. She always wants to remain at the lotus feet of the Lord. Therefore, when we see the paintings where Lord Vishnu is resting, at that time Lakshmi Devi is massaging the feet. And Lakshmi Devi, she's sometimes envious of Tulsi Devi. Lakshmi Devi thinks, when my devotees call me, I have to leave the place and go to attend them. But when it comes to Tulsi, she never leaves the lotus feet. Oh, she's much better than me, she's much better than me. There's another very nice personality called Prithu Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prithu Maharaj, in front of him Lord appeared. And Prithu Maharaj is offering prayers. So when he's offering prayers, at that time Prithu Maharaj tells the Lord, "Oh Lord, I want to serve your lotus feet. But already that position is taken by someone else, Lakshmi Devi. And the day when Lakshmi Devi and myself, when we'll fight for that position, I'm sure you will take my side." Isn't that wonderful? Mm-hmm. So Lakshmi Devi, she is very, very attached to the Lord. She always wants to serve the Lord. And therefore, wherever there is Lord's presence, naturally Goddess of Fortune also follows. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada said that you just worship Krishna, opulence will come. And that's what he proved in those 12 years from 1966 to 1977. How this one personality, Srila Prabhupada, he attracted so much of mercy of the Lord that he himself established 108 temples at that time. Big temples, not small ones. Yes, big temples. So wherever there is Lord, Lakshmi will be there. Why? Because the Lord is called as Shri Vallabha. He's very, very dear to Lakshmi. Next name is Varada. You know the meaning of Varada? The one who gives or bestower of benedictions. See, actually, Krishna is the only personality who can give actual benediction. Actual wala actual. Real wala real. Only Krishna is that personality who can give the actual benediction. And Srila Prabhupada says, He alone who can deliver to us the actual substance, that is spiritual bliss, is Varada, that is Krishna. If I'm not wrong, in Tamil Nadu, we have a very famous deity called Varadaraj. So Varadaraj means the king of the ones who are giving benedictions. So he's the best personality who can give best benedictions. And the best benediction is the spiritual bliss. Srila Prabhupada writes a very important philosophical point. He says, when we detach ourselves from his association, we are always in the midst of want and scarcity. Why people all the time they keep hankering, ye chahiye, wo chahiye? Why? Only one reason. We have got detached from Krishna. That's it. That's the only reason. But as soon as we get in touch with him, our gradual endowment with all bliss begins. Just by coming in touch with the Lord, either by chanting his holy names, or by hearing Krishna Katha, or having Krishna Prasad, whatever. Prabhupada says, installment of bliss begins. And Prabhupada says the first installment of bliss is cleansing of the heart. When the heart is cleansed, the mirror of the heart is cleansed, and when the person is able to see the Lord in the heart, that's the time he feels extremely blissful. So what is missing is that connection. Therefore, you will hear Prabhupada telling this multiple times. We have to revive our relationship with Krishna. Just because that relationship is broken, all the problems are there. Once we get connected back with Lord, everything gone, all suffering gone. Therefore, all of us as devotees, as practitioners, this is what we are trying to do. We are trying our best to connect with the Lord. And all the spiritual activities that we are doing, that is recommended or instructed by Srila Prabhupada, are helping us to get connected to the Lord step by step. And all of us sitting here will agree, the ones who are practicing spirituality from quite some time now, that how there is a transformation little by little. And weeks, months, years, we see a huge difference taking place in one's own character, one's own existence. That's the real benediction. Many times people say that we are doing bhakti of this personality, that personality. We get connected to this organization, that organization. Okay, all that is good. We appreciate. But the question comes here is, how much heart transformation? How much heart transformation is visible? And here it is very clear. Anyone who comes in touch with Varada, Krishna, he will give the highest benediction. And that highest benediction's first installment is cleansing of the heart. And the final thing that the person can get is the ultimate goal of life, and that is Krishna Prem. This is something that we will see when it comes to your devotional service. Devotees don't aspire for anything else. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. They don't aspire. Yes. A good thing is many devotees don't know these four anyways. Dharma kya hai, Arth kya hai, Kam kya hai, Moksha kya hai. But then, the best thing is even a neophyte, the one who just joins the moment. And if you ask him, what's the goal of life? Krishna Prem. That's the goal. And who can actually give that Krishna Prem? Krishna can give Krishna Prem. Not directly, but he gives it through his devotees. Krishna Prem. That's called as Pancham Purushartha. So we are also aspiring for Purushartha. That is Pancham Purushartha. See, sometimes people say selflessly bhakti karni chahiye. Yes, we have to do selfless bhakti. But I have a question. But we have a goal. We want to attain Krishna Prem. Then how can you call this as selfless? You go in front of the Lord and you ask, oh Lord, please bestow me with Krishna Prem. And sometimes we also tell in the class that whatever service you do, after that you go in front of the Lord and then you can tell the Lord, if you're pleased with my insignificant service, please bless me with Nam Ruchi. Please bless me with the highest benediction, that is Krishna Prem. Isn't that selfishness? See, when it comes to being selfless, we always talk about being selfless on the material platform. Without having a goal, we cannot walk any path. Always remember this. So we need to have a goal. But here on the spiritual path, we have a spiritual goal. So there's nothing wrong in having a spiritual goal. If someone says that I don't have a spiritual goal also, then usko boliye Hare Krishna. Kuch nahi ho sakta tera phir. Sometimes newcomers ask this question. आप लोग बोलते रहते हैं going back, home back to Godhead. Isn't that selfishness? You have a desire. You cannot become zero in your desire. You need to have a desire. And that desire should be on the spiritual platform, and there's nothing wrong in that. And that is what is told by Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. That's the ultimate thing for us. Therefore, begging the Lord for Krishna Prem, that is the highest benediction. There's nothing wrong in that. And that's what is the highest goal that we need to attain. And at least before leaving this body, we should taste what it is. कब तक केवल गुलाब जामुन taste करते रहेंगे हम? Halwa, gulab jamun, this and that. There should be a time when we taste, this great nectar, the great benediction that is Krishna Prem. Therefore, he is called as Varada. Only he can give this great benediction. So, two names we have discussed: Sri Vallabha and Varada. The third one, Daya Para. Daya Para means that person who is causelessly merciful. Now, when he showers his mercy, there is no cause behind that. अब इसको कैसे समझें? Because normally we say that since I'm doing sadhana, since I'm doing seva, Lord is merciful unto me. Lord is giving me an opportunity to go higher and higher in Krishna consciousness. But there is a cause, no? I'm chanting, so I'm receiving mercy. See, the fact that I'm chanting, it means I have received mercy. The fact that we all have come together to discuss one shloka from Mukunda Mālā Stotra, that itself shows that we have received mercy. Now the question comes that to receive this mercy, what did we do? Just we agreed to the invitation that was given to us. What did we do? Nothing. And just imagine that, okay, we are doing sadhana. And at one point of time, Varada, he gives us the highest benediction, Krishna Prem. At that time, we cannot tell, full life I chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I attended programs, I lived a pure life, therefore he gave me Krishna Prem. Whatever sadhana we do, that is very low. And Krishna Prem is very high. There is no match between the two. There is not business. Itno sa kiya hai humne. But we are getting something huge. Therefore, it is described that whatever we do is so insignificant. And what Lord gives is so infinite that it feels like He's just giving because He's just giving. There's nothing that we have done. Actually, nothing. So the point is, causelessly merciful means for little thing that we do, He gives infinite kripa. That's the point, causelessly merciful. Another very important point. He's also called as Deen Bandhu. So here we're talking about Daya Para. So you can discuss his name, Deena Bandhu also. Deena Bandhu means the friend of needy. Deena Bandhu. Yes, friend of needy. Now one thing that all of us have to notice, that in this world, no mortal being can actually help us. Now someone might say, no, there are many people who are helping us. But no mortal being can actually help us to attain the ultimate thing. No mortal being. Yes. And especially at the time of death. Even if all mortal beings are around crying for us, tell me who can help us? Who can help us? Actually, no one. No one can help us except one personality, that is this Daya Para. That is Krishna. He is that personality. There might be many people helping us, but without the presence of the Lord, we are actually zero. Prabhupada writes a very nice thing. He says that whatever you have, it might be 1 0, but it can become 10 only if you have Krishna, that is 1. You might have 2 zeros, it becomes 100 only if you have Krishna. You might have 3 zeros, it becomes 1000 only if you have Krishna. So all the things that we have, all the people around that we have, they're like different zeros. And Krishna is that one. That one element, if we can introduce in our life, if we can accept that one element, that is one, that is Krishna, naturally everything else becomes very, very valuable. Because zeros will have value only if there is a 1. And all the possessions that we have will have value only if there is Krishna. Therefore, we understand here very clearly that our Lord, He is trying His best to enter in our life and become that one. And what all things He does to enter our life? Many, many things. He sends His representatives, go and preach the message. He personally comes and He does His various pastimes. He gives Bhagavad Gita, He recites scriptures, He writes scriptures for us. In this way, He does many, many things. Why He does these many, many things? Because He knows we all are rebellious entities. We are those rebellious kids who have abandoned the Father and who are here in this world to live without the Father's shelter. कहते हैं ना हिंदी में खुद के पैर पे खड़ा होऊंगा मैं. That's what we all are trying to do in this world. Yes. जब पैर दुख जाते, then we remember, oh Krishna, please help me. Please help me. Therefore, here we understand that how merciful the Lord is. Lord is so merciful that even if you reject Him, still He comes to help you. That's His mercy. That's His great mercy. Just imagine you chastise someone. You blaspheme someone. मुंह पे गाली दे रहे. And still the other person says, no, I want to be your friend. Try and see this in this world. Don't try at me or someone else. But try and see. Try and see. गाली दीजिए किसको, whom you call as your best friend or very close personality or whatever. And see the reply from the other side and see the emotions. Those are exchanged after what you have given from your side. But when it comes to our Lord, look at Him. My God. Therefore, He's called as Daya Para. Unlimited mercy. Why unlimited mercy? Even if you chastise Him, even if you blaspheme Him, still He comes to give you mercy. Still He pulls you on the path of devotional service. Look at the atheistic people. They say God does not exist. Isn't Lord still maintaining them? Yes. Air is given them also to breathe. Food is also given. Everything is there. Lord is there present in their heart also as Paramatma. Just imagine if Lord leaves the heart, if Paramatma leaves our existence, we cannot exist. This body cannot exist. Soul and super soul together, they are there in the heart. Sometimes I ask this question for all the ones who already read Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures given by Srila Prabhupada. Little tricky. So we understand that when the soul leaves the body, so at that time we consider the body to be dead. Okay. Question. Soul is there in the body, but super soul leaves the body. Hypothetical situation. Tell me what will happen. It won't even exist. That's the point. See, the point that you can see the body is Lord is present in each and every atom. He is present in our heart. That's the reason you can see this body. As soon as the super soul leaves our body, the body will disappear. You cannot see a dead body also. Just because, when the soul leaves, when the spirit soul leaves, you can see the dead body because still, in every atom, there is the Lord who is present to maintain the shape of the body. Can you imagine this? First time when I heard this concept, from a very scholarly devotee, amazing this is. Amazing. Therefore, everything around, whatever you touch around, has a shape, has a form, has its existence, because Lord is there in each and every atom. Therefore, I was thinking, those people who say God does not exist, dikhao Bhagwan kahan hai? And Lord will be laughing, I am there in each and every pore of your body. But that doesn't mean that when someone is blaspheming the Lord is cutting some veins in the heart and giving them a heart attack or something like that. He's maintaining them still. Can you imagine? That's called as Daya Para. The Mayavadis, they say that there is no form of the Lord. It's all Maya. Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes, everything is Maya. But still Lord is helping them to sustain. That is Daya Para. That is causelessly merciful. Causelessly merciful. Therefore, it's a very wonderful thing to note. Prabhupada writes, the all-merciful Lord is always mindful of our difficulties in the mundane world, and He is more eager to get us to return home back to Godhead than we are eager to go. कभी-कभी हम लोग ढोंग करते हैं ना, that I want to go back home, back to Godhead, I want to attain Krishna, मुझे Krishna प्रेम चाहिए. Sometimes, after attending a Bhagavatam class, suddenly emotions erupt and then, I just want to attain Krishna. Yes. And after prasad खा के फिर सब खत्म उसके बाद. At least in Bhagavatam class, we feel that. Yes, I want to attain Krishna. Yes. So, you see, we might tell that I really want to attain the Lord. But the fact is, Lord is more eager to take us back home, back to Godhead than we are eager to actually go to Him. And the proof is, the endeavor from our side is less as compared to that of the endeavor from the side of the Lord. From his side, the endeavor is more. Because he is the one who is doing all the arrangement. He is the one who gives us this devotee association. He is the one who arranges all these different entities around, who reminds us again and again about Krishna. He is the one who is doing that. Therefore, it's a very important point to note. We don't have so much intense desire to go to him, but he has a great intense desire to get us back. The only problem with us is we are so rebellious entities. We don't want to actually go towards him. That's the problem. He's very close to our heart. There is no one as close as the Lord. But the problem is he's looking towards us and we are looking somewhere else. Therefore, we are called as Bahirmukh Jeev. And the Lord is waiting. Kabhi paltega. When will he look at me? That is the time when he'll pull us and take us back home. Therefore, it's a very important thing to note that we shouldn't act innocent. मैं तो इतना भक्ति कर रहा हूँ. I have desire to go back home. I want Krishna Prem, but still Lord is not giving. Arey dhongi. Really you have I'm talking about myself by the way. Really you have so much of intense desire? If you really have so much of intense desire, Krishna will not wait for a moment to take you back home, back to Godhead. Desire is not intense. But still Lord is doing so much for us as devotees. And Lord is doing so much for others who are not devotees. And that shows that He is Daya Para. He is causelessly merciful. So we have discussed 3 names. Shri Vallabha, Varada, and third, Daya Para. Now let's discuss the 4th one. Bhakta Priya. What do you mean by Bhakta Priya? What do you mean by Bhakta Priya? Very dear to the devotees? There's another meaning also. And the devotees who are dear to the Lord. So Lord who is dear to the devotees and the devotees who are dear to the Lord, both Bhakta Priya. He who is very dear to his devotees and he who is very affectionate to his devotees is a very, very wonderful meaning. Now Bhakta Priya, see, Lord is merciful to everyone. We have discussed this. There's a very beautiful shloka from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter. Please repeat. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti na priyah e bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mahite teshu chapyaham. So here Lord says, I'm equal to everyone. But then He shows His transcendental partiality. He says, E bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mahite teshu chapyaham. But that person who renders service unto me in devotion, I am a friend to him and he is a friend to me. Basically, he says that I am equal to everyone, but this person is more dear to me. And say someone asks the Lord, why he is very dear to you? He's a devotee. Therefore, he is very dear to me. So sometimes, when there are, nowadays I cannot give example, the 10 kids at home. Sometimes now we just have 1 or 2. Previously, there used to be dozens of kids at home. Husband and wife, they'll beget 12 kids, 18 kids and all that. Big numbers. So now saying that, there might be one person, one boy or one child, might be very obedient to the parents, serving them nicely and whatever. So parents will be equal to all the kids in taking care of them. But then naturally they'll have inclination towards that person or that kid who is very humble, who is very obedient to the parents, who is very much serving the parents at every moment. The same thing with the Lord. Everything comes from the Lord, by the way. So Lord is very, very clear about this, that devotees are very dear to me. Now if you ask the Lord, "Arey, aapke devotees aise karte kya hai? That Lord, that the devotees are very dear to you, karte kya hai aise cheez?" And there's so many examples where, come what may, devotees don't stop serving the Lord. They don't stop their service. They don't stop bhakti. Haridas Thakur was beaten in 22 marketplaces. A personality called Haridas Thakur. He took birth in a Muslim family. And when he was chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Muslim king, he ordered, beat him in 22 marketplaces and kill him. He was being beaten in 22 marketplaces with whips. And at that time, Haridas Thakur, he tells a dialogue. He says, खंड खंड हाय देह जाय जदि प्राण तबु ami vadane na chadi hari naam. So he's looking at those people who are beating and he's saying, Khand, Khand, Deha Jai, Jai Jadi Pran. Even if this entire body is cut into pieces, and even if the pran goes out of my body, still, Tabu Ami Vadane Na Chhadi Harinam, still I'll not stop chanting Hare Krishna, Jo Karna Kar Lo. Can we try this with some devotees here? एटलीस्ट अब मुझे कोई एक भी पीटे तो मैं भाग जाऊंगा. क्या करना है बताओ? हरे कृष्णा छोड़ दो. हाँ ठीक है, छोड़ देता हूँ मैं. That is our situation. In fact, for that matter, I was hearing in Russia when the devotees were beaten because they were chanting Hare Krishna, there was a time when the cops would beat them. And the cops are saying, you just stop chanting this hymn. We'll leave you. And the devotees would stop chanting. And they would be put behind bars. They would be beaten. Still they will not stop chanting Hare Krishna. And Lord is telling, अरे मैं कैसे ऐसे devotees को छोड़ सकता हूँ बोलो? How can I leave these devotees? Therefore, Bhakta Priya. I am very dear to devotees and devotees are very dear to me. Look at Prahlad Maharaj. Chode chanting. His father only is trying to plot him and kill him. But Prahlad didn't stop. Didn't stop practicing devotional service. He didn't stop serving the Lord. When Durvasa Muni, a personality from Srimad Bhagavatam, when Sudarshan Chakra wanted to kill Durvasa because Durvasa offended Amrish Maharaj, who was a devotee of the Lord, when he goes to the Lord and he's saying, please save me, please save me. At that time, Lord is telling Durvasa Muni, Ye daragar putrapta pranan vittamam imam param hitva mam swajanam yatah katham tam tyaktumutsahe. Hey Durvasa, my devotees give up everything for me. Please translate the shloka. Dara, wife. Dara, putra, sons. Agara, newly constructed home. Agara means home. Yes. Ye daragara putra apta. Apta, relatives, friends. Prana, vitta, paisa. Yes. Wealth, vitta. So here Lord is saying, my devotees are ready to give up anything and everything. They're ready to give the family, they're ready to give the possession, they're ready to give up wealth, they're ready to give their prana. Hey Durvasa, tell me, when they are giving up so much for me, how can I give them up? I can never give them up. They're always very dear to me. Bhakta Priya. That's what is told here, Bhakta Priya. Lord is very dear to his devotees and devotees are very dear to the Lord. That connection is so strong, so strong. Because these pure devotees, they have only one desire. If you ask them, kya chahiye aapko? And the pure devotee would say, Krishna's service. Kuch nahi chahiye mujhe aur. To an extent, say Lord tells the devotee, chalo, let's go to Vaikuntha. And devotee is saying, service hai kya wahan? Service hai kya wahan? And Lord is saying, अरे इतना सर्विस कर लिए तुम, रथ यात्रा ऑर्गेनाइज किए, जन्माष्टमी किए, हाउस प्रोग्राम्स किए, भक्ति वृक्षा, गीता कोर्स, ये अभी सर्विस बस. Now just sit very close to me. Just imagine this very amazing scene. There's a big singhasan that is there. Lord is sitting and Lord is telling, इतना सेवा किया तू, मेरे बाजू में बैठ. I'll put my hand across you and then we'll sit. No service. And you know what the devotee would say? नहीं आना है मुझे, नहीं आना है वैकुंठ, नहीं आना है गोलोक. अरे भाई क्यों? Wherever there is service, there I will come, O Lord. Therefore, when it comes to a devotee, look at this mood, very high level. The mood of a devotee is, I want to serve the Lord, bas. मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए और. I don't want anything. So there are wonderful shlokas in Srimad Bhagavatam where the devotees are listing down and they are telling, मुझे ये नहीं चाहिए, ये नहीं चाहिए, ये नहीं चाहिए. Vritrasur, when he was giving up his life, at that time he is saying, Na naka prashtham na cha parameshtham na sarva bhaumam na rasadhipatyam na yoga siddhira punarbhavam va samanjasatva virahaya kangshe. Just imagine this as a discussion between the Lord and Vritrasura, a devotee. Lord is telling, hey Vritrasur, tumhe swarg jana hai, swarg. You want to go to heavenly planet? Ramba, Urvashi, Menaka will dance for you. You can have somras. You'll get kick, but you will not spoil your health. You want to have that drink? And look at what Vritrasura is saying. Na Naka, I don't want to go to heavenly planet. Na Naka Prashtam. Oh, you want to go to Brahmalok, looks like, because heavenly planet is just above. Maybe you want to go to the topmost planet, Brahmalok. And Vritrasura is saying, no, I don't want Brahmalok also. Na Parameshtya. Okay, being in this world, do you want to fly in the air? Do you want Yoga Siddhi? Can you imagine if you get that? You're sitting in the car and there's traffic, there's signal, and you just float your car up and then you go above everyone. How's that? And then you're just sitting, you're closing your eyes and from wherever you want, whichever fruit or whichever preparation, you can just grab it. You can become smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. अभी बोलेंगे प्रभु ये सब पता नहीं होता है कि नहीं इसलिए नहीं चाहिए. But these personalities, who are able to perceive all this siddhi, still they are saying, no, I don't want yoga siddhi also. Do you want to become the king of the entire world? No, I don't want. Do you want to become the king of the entire lower planetary system? Narasadhipatyam, I don't want. Arey bhai, kya chahiye fir? Then he is saying, oh Lord, I don't want anything that will take me away from your service. Mujhe kuch nahi chahiye. So this is the mood of the pure devotees. Therefore you will see, pure devotees are ready to do anything for the Lord, and Lord is ready to do anything for the devotees, and therefore this name, Bhakta Priya. Isn't that deep? Yes. Just by hearing this, the greed comes कि even I should become dear to the Lord like this. Yes. अगर कोई रात को भी ऐसे उठा के पूछे प्रभु बताओ क्या चाहिए? Service. I don't want anything. I just want service. Yes. Especially now when Janmashtami is coming up, you should just ask for service. Yes. Service. Maybe someday, naturally from the heart, it will come that I don't want anything. I just want to serve the Lord. And that is the day of perfection. That's the day of perfection. And I'm sure, when we are there under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, that day will come. No doubt about that. So 4 names we have discussed. Sri Vallabha, Varada, Daya Para, Bhakta Priya. 5th name is Bhava Lunthana Kovida. Now this means that person who is Kovida, very expert. In what? Bhava Lunthana. Lunthana matlab? Huh? Lunthana. Chori. Bhava Lunthana. What is he stealing? He is plundering the status quo of repeated birth and death. Srila Bilvamangal Thakur, he writes in a very, very beautiful way, and he calls the Lord as Sabse Bada Chor. He says, Vraje Prasiddham Navanita Chauram Gopan Gananam Chadukula Chauram Aneka Janmarjita Papa Chauram Chauragraganyam Purusham Namami. So what all things Lord steals? Vraje Prasiddham. Lord is known in Vraja as Navanita Chauram, Makhan Chor. Gopan Gananam Chadukula Chauram. He is also known for stealing the clothes of his devotees. And then Aneka Janmar Jita Papa Chauram. And he is known for a very wonderful thing, that is to steal away Papa, which we have accumulated from many, many lifetimes. He is known for that. Aneka Janmar Jita Papa Chauram. To that great chore, I offer my obeisances. Sometimes I wonder that how nicely these acharyas write. But while writing in a way which is almost like blasphemy, सबसे बड़ा चोर है तू. Just imagine अगर किसी को गाली दे रहे हैं हम लोग, सबसे बड़ा चोर है तू. सामने वाला, thank you very much, thank you very much. It's not going to happen like that. Yes. But our acharyas, they write in such a way where a person who does not understand the language of bhakti, he might feel, oh, there is a blasphemy. But then the Lord understands that, oh, it's a great glorification. And then, very beautifully, he writes, Chinatsi ghoram yama pasha bandham Bhimatsi bhimam bhava pasha bandham Chinatsi sarvasya samasta bandham naivatmano bhakta kritam tu bandham. He's saying, oh Lord, you are the one who is known to steal away. Steal away what? Even the ghora yamapasha. You are known to cut the yamapasha, steal away the cycle of birth and death. You are that correct personality who is known to steal away or plunder away the material bondage. To that great personality, I offer my humble obeisances. See, when it comes to Lord, as I already said, He is that Bhava Lunthana Kovida. He is the only person who is expert. He knows very well how to help this devotee to break the cycle of birth and death. Many times, sadhakas act smart. And they try to manipulate some things here and there and think that they can make it. But Lord is like, nahi beta, aisa nahi chalega. I will help you. And Lord will drag the person. See, there are so many examples where a person has come to the fold of spirituality, practicing devotional service. But due to some or the other reason, he gives it up. He gives it up. But Lord takes him as a project. Lord tells, you have chanted my holy names, you have done little bhakti to me, and now it's my turn. I will make sure that I'll pull you back. I'll pull you back. I remember this incident which I read in one article. There was one Pujari. Pujari means, you imagine, in ISKCON, Pujari, you need to have a high qualification. You are expected to have first initiation, second initiation, Bhakti Shastri degree and so on. Then you become a Pujari in the temple. So after serving in the temple for years together, this devotee had some bitter exchange with some other person and he left the temple. He left Bhakti. Now this person was on the street and some Gita course pass out. During marathon, he was distributing books. And he got some book and then he approached this person. Now he was dressed in a attire, now it was not a devotee attire, pant shirt or whatever, karmi attire. And then when this new devotee went to him and he started showing the book and all that, first time itself he said, I don't want this book. I know. And normally when we hear this, I know, we explain more. Yes. No, I'll tell you, you look at this book and you look at this page, you look at the photos. I know all this, I don't want this. But somehow this new devotee was inspired that kaise bhi karke isko mandir le jana chahiye. That's afternoon time and Aarti might be going on, the Bhoga Aarti. So we should pull because temple is here only. And this person who had left the temple, he knew temple is there. Therefore, he was taking a long route and going from far. And this devotee, somehow he pulled him to the temple. At that time, the Rajbhog Aarti was going on. The 12 o'clock Aarti. So at that time, everything was getting offered. And this person, when he was a pujari, his favorite service was to offer chamar. So now what happened is, when he somehow came to the temple and he was like, no, I want to go. And he wanted to go out. But he looked at the altar, the beautiful deities on the altar. And at that time, chamar seva started. And chamar is going up and then it is coming down. And this devotee or this person who had left the temple, when he looked at the chamar, he bursted. He started crying piteously. And he said, oh Lord, I wanted to leave you and go away. But you will not allow me to go away. I'm coming back to your service. Just after that incident, he joined back, he continued his services. And not just one or two, there's so many examples. One personal example I would like to tell you, one of our student. So during the college days, we had preached to that person and he came to a nice 16 rounds chanting and all that. And something happened and he decided in the final year that बहुत हो गया भक्ति, अभी केवल enjoy करेंगे बस. He would not come for the programs. And his parents were not supportive at that time. So when he was coming for our programs, when he would go home, you know what he would do? He would get up in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, he would chant his 16 rounds and then go to sleep so that parents don't get to understand. Ye chant, ye kuch to kar raha hai alag. But then in the final year, something happened and he started going with his friends, outing, this and that, which was not proper. And then he was telling, and after a long time, I didn't see him also for a long time. I came to Bangalore. He went to some other place. And one day I saw him in our center. And then he was wearing mask. Just looking at his eyes, I could make out, "Hey, why devotee hai?" I went to him and I called out his name. And I said, "How come you are here? For a long time you are not seen." Then he started explaining, what happened. He told me, "Prabhu, I decided enough of bhakti. But then on that vacation when I went home after that semester, I saw my parents have become devotees. They are chanting Hare Krishna, they are offering bhoga to the Lord and they are having prasad. And they are inspiring me that you should also chant." And then, when he came to Bangalore, then he had, some other experience and he said, "Prabhuji, I must tell you, someone who starts practicing bhakti cannot go out of bhakti because there is a Kovida, there is an expert person. And that expert person knows how to pull us back into devotional service and how to help us to break the cycle of birth and death. And therefore his name is Bhava Lunthana Kovida. He is expert. आप लोग का chance चला गया. And all the ones who have come for the first time to this program, congratulations, you are also now in the fold, in the clutches of the Lord. And Lord will make sure that we will attain the eternal bliss, no doubt about that. Yes. Bhava Lunthana Kovida. Shri Vallabha, Varada, Daya Para, Bhakta Priya, Bhava Lunthana Kovida. And the sixth one is Natha. Natha means Lord. But here very beautifully it's translated as real Lord. Why real Lord? Whenever you say real product, it's called imitation products bhi hai. So real Lord is Krishna. Imitation Lords are all of us in this material world. We are just trying to do one thing, and that is becoming the master. Everyone, all of us, we want to become the Lord. Everyone. Yes. And everyone tries their best to lord it over someone else. That's what is the competition that goes on in this world. And they think they have become master. But the fact is, we might consider ourselves or assume ourselves to be master, but actually we are badly the servant of lust, anger and greed. We are badly serving them. Very beautifully, in one of the shlokas, Srila Prabhupada explains, Kamadinam katina katidha palita durnideshas tesham jatamaina karuna na tripa nopashantihi utsrajayta athayadupate sampratam labdha buddhis tvamayata sharanam abhayam mam nyungshatmadasya. Here, the devotee is saying, somehow he has come in front of the Lord and he is saying, Kam adinam katina katida palita durnideshas. Oh Lord, I was serving Kama, Krodha, Lobha in various different ways. And say, Lord is asking the question, Kya hua? Were they satisfied? And he is saying, Tesham jatamai na karuna. Forget about satisfaction. They had no mercy on me. Bahut kaam kara ke liya mere se. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, etc. They did. They made me do a lot of work. And oh Lord, my situation. Na tripa nopashantihi. I was also shameless. Shamelessly I was serving them. Pata hai wo mere se kaam kara rahe. Pata hai they don't have compassion on me. Shamelessly I was serving them. And say, the Lord is asking, to abhi kaise aa gaya tu idhar? How did you come here? He is saying, Utsrajaitan athayadupate sampratam labdha buddhis. Oh Lord, by the mercy of you and your devotees, finally kuch buddhi aa gaya mere mein. And with this buddhi, tvamayata sharanam abhayam mam nyungshatmadasye. Oh Lord, with this buddhi I have decided, you are that compassionate person. You are Natha. You are that real Lord. Not Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Not people of this world. I surrender on to you. Please engage me in your service. So every time when we chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We are praying. We are praying to Krishna. Oh Krishna, oh Srimati Radharani, please engage me in your service. Our mood is also like this. From so many lifetimes, I have been serving all the imitation lords. Now finally I have realized the Natha, the real Lord, I want to serve you. Please accept me. Please engage me in your service. So every time when we are chanting Hare Krishna, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, we are praying to the Lord, please engage me in your service. सोचिए, अगर consciously अगर हम कर पाए, consciously if we can really beg and pray that please engage me in your service, oh, that will be so amazing, so wonderful. Therefore, this Natha word is so nice, which also tells us that real Lord is Krishna and real servants are we. We are not real lords, we are real servants. Therefore, at the time, when we get initiated in the devotional service, a title is given, and that title is Das, servant. Natha, real Lord, or Supreme Lord, Lord Shri Krishna. So this is the sixth name, real Lord. The next name after Shri Vallabha, Vada, Daya Para, Bhakta Priya, Bhava Lunthana, Natha. Now the next name is Naga Shayana. What do you mean by Naga Shayana? The one who is resting on the Naga, on the serpent. Sheshanaga. See, Lord rests on Sheshanaga. And therefore he is called as Naga Shayana. It is very wonderful, no? That when we sleep, the only thing that we do is max, we can snore or we can dream. But when Lord goes to his Yoga Nidra, he creates, he maintains, and he destroys. Just imagine Mahavishnu in his very beautiful Shayana Mudra. He is resting. And when he breathes out, all the universes come out. When he opens his eyes and glances, everything is set in motion. The time gets in motion. And in this way, we can understand that when he breathes out, the creation begins. All the universes are created. And in those universes, Brahma takes birth. Then Brahma does a secondary creation. And in that secondary creation, after many, many generations, we take birth. We die. And the next generations take birth. And generations go on and on and on. And Brahma lives for 311 trillion 40 billion years. And he dies. And that's when the Lord inhales. So in one exhalation, creation happens, and then in one inhalation, complete annihilation happens. Sochiye, how powerful the exhalation and inhalation of the Lord is. How powerful. Therefore, whenever I think about this, I always feel this. How insignificant we are in front of the Lord. How insignificant. Just imagine he decides some thunderbolt or something, tsunami or earthquake or whatever. Tell me what we mortal beings can do at that time. What can we do? Nothing. Literally nothing. Just imagine the situation during Pralaya. It is described that Lord Shiva does thunder. And that's how he burns the entire 14 planetary system. And at that time, when the fire is there, and immediately after that, the entire place gets filled with water. Just imagine we are staying in some place and there is a fire. What will we do? All four sides fire. And abhi lag raha hai ki fire bujhne wala, and then everywhere water and the entire place is filled with water. What will we do? Such a pathetic situation that will be. Pathetic and very, very helpless. Therefore, when we, mortal beings, who are destined to die any time, if we can just meditate on this one point, what is my significance in this world? I always give this analogy when I give class to the newcomers. When we take a flight and when the flight goes higher and higher, yes. So initially we might see the buildings. And later, max you can see some brown patch, green patch, blue patch, grey patch. And when you go higher and higher and higher, what can you see? Nothing. And just imagine you're just below the clouds and then you're trying to search, where is my house? Where is my house? Newly inaugurated. Where is it? Yes. Can you imagine? All of us, for that matter, if we go higher and then we go search, kahan hai mera building, kahan hai mera ghar, kahan hai, where is my room and where is my table? Is my laptop switched off or not? My God. How insignificant we are. Yes. We are like some ant or some small kida on someone's book. And that person has all right just to do this. Okay, fir kaam khatam. Therefore, a person who practices spirituality, when we come together and discuss from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, from Srimad Bhagavatam, the first thing that will happen in our life is, will naturally become humble. Naturally. Therefore, you'll see spiritualists are not proud. But the ones who don't practice spirituality, they're so proud of what? Some people might say, I look beautiful. How long? I'm very wealthy. How long? I'm very educated. How long? You might be a PhD, but next life you have to again start with ABC. Isn't that wonderful? That's the chakra of this world, Kala chakra. Therefore, when we start practicing spirituality, the first thing that dawns upon us is we are insignificant. That's how with humility we start living our life. And that's a great benediction. Therefore, we understand this Naga Shayana, the Supreme Lord, just resting, He does all these wonderful things. He creates, He maintains, He annihilates. By this we can understand His greatness. When Lord Krishna wanted to shift everyone from Mathura to Dwarka, how many days it took? It just took one night. It just took one night. And aisa nahi tha ki, you shifted and then still construction is going on. Yes, it was not like that. They shifted. They were sleeping in Mathura. They shifted to Dwarka. And when they opened their eyes, it was a huge place. And everyone had their own palace. Everyone had their own place to live. In one night, this entire thing took place. Our Lord is great. He's that Naga Shayana. Just by resting, He can do all this. Just by resting, He can do all this. Therefore, when we hear about greatness of the Lord, then we get a desire, oh, He is worth surrendering onto. So therefore, when Krishna says, surrender unto me, two qualifications are very important that we have to see in the Lord. One is He capable to accept my surrender and to maintain me? Yes, He is. Second, is He compassionate unto me? Where He'll answer my prayers? He is. Therefore, with these two qualities, Lord, He becomes Sharanya, or that personality whom we can surrender on to. And therefore, this name, Naga Shayana, speaks about the greatness of the Lord. And the last name after Sri Vallabha, Vada, Daya Para, Bhakta Priya, Bhava Lunthana, Kovida, Natha, Naga Shayana, Jagat Nasa. Very beautiful name, Jagat Nasa. There's one prayer that is chanted by, if I'm not wrong, Sri Vaishnavas chant these prayers. Very beautiful. Shantakara Bhujagashayana Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghavarna Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalaya Yoga Birdhyana Gamyam Vande Vishnum Bhava Bhayaharam Sarvalokaikanatham. Very beautiful prayer. It says Shantakaram Bhujaga Shayanam. Just now we discussed. Yes, Bhujaga Shayanam means that personality who rests on Sheshanag. Therefore, the name that we discussed was Naga Shayana. Padmanabha Suresham. He is that person who has a lotus navel, from where the lotus actually sprouts. Suresha. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. Deva among Devas, the Supreme Lord. Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Megha Varna Shubhangam. Vishwadharam, in our context, is very important. Jagat Nasa, the resort of the entire cosmos. He is Vishwadhara, He supports the entire universe. That's a very nice thing to note, that this personality, He is the one who is supporting the entire creation. How does He support? That's also a very nice thing to note. In our childhood, we had that book Atlas, a globe, and then a person is holding. And when the person is holding that, he's sweating and then he's so tired. Yes? So now when we talk about Lord holding the entire universe, ऐसा picture नहीं आना चाहिए. Lord is holding. Yes. Lord is holding the entire creation just through his energies. Because Lord has his own busy life schedule, where he has to go around and steal butter, and then he has to go around play with his friends, and then go around and dance with his Vrajvasi gopis, etc. How will he hold this entire creation and all that? Through his energies, Lord does all this. He has delegated. He has delegated. And now his energies are so tightly connected to him that we can easily, safely conclude that Lord is the one who is holding the entire thing. And Srila Prabhupada gives an analogy and he says, can we separate heat and light from the fire? So as soon as we say fire, immediately heat and light is but obvious. I don't know if you can have cold fire. Like people have cold coffee. I don't know if you have cold fire. Yes. Cold fire is like very absurd. Why? As soon as I say fire, heat and light is together with the fire. Similarly, as soon as I say Lord, immediately energies of the Lord are there. As soon as I say energy of the Lord, Lord is personally present. Therefore, in this way, we can safely conclude that he is the one who is entering the entire creation, and he is the one who is maintaining the entire creation. And therefore, it is said that when Lord breathes out, entire creation is out. But when he breathes in, entire creation is in the Lord. He is the resort. So when he breathes out, so it means the creation is independent of the Lord. He is out of the Lord, no? How do you understand this? Because here we are discussing the word Jagat Nasa. The entire Jagat is taking shelter in the Lord. But here is a tricky question. When the Lord breathes out, the entire material creation is out. So, is it out of the Lord? Is the question. Okay, Sarvam Khalam Idam Brahman. Yes. We can interpret that in Mayavadi way also. See, one thing that we have to notice that, okay, tell me, how are these planets floating and all this taking place? And Prabhupada writes, scientifically we can say that, okay, we have this gravitational force and this and that. Okay, all that is there. But then we understand very clearly that all this is actually held by the Lord. It's so wonderful. You can think about this, that on the Sheshanag, different universes are held. Just by the plenary portion of the Lord, expansion of the Lord, the entire thing is held. And where is the Sheshanag getting power from? The Lord. So directly and indirectly, Lord is the one who actually holds everything. Okay, everything might come out of him. He creates, but finally when the creation is done, who is holding that? Lord is holding. And when everything goes inside, obviously Lord is holding. So in this way, he is Jagat Nivasa. He is the resort of the entire creation. So these are the 8 names which our Kulashekha Alvar is chanting. And obviously the 9th name is Mukunda, and we have discussed that. So for the last time, all of us together will recite the shloka. Shri Vallabheti Varadeti Daya Pareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhava Lunthana Kovideti Natheti Naga Shayaneti Jagat Nivaseti Alapinam Pratidinam Mukunda. Finally, Prabhupada writes, there are many thousands of names of the Lord, no doubt. And one can constantly chant these names because there is no constraint of time, place, circumstance. Anywhere, you are in the washroom, you can chant. Now you are walking, you can chant. You are traveling, you can chant the holy names of the Lord. And especially the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But the only problem is, the only unfortunate situation is, we don't have taste for it. We don't have interest in it. But one good thing that is spoken here by Srila Prabhupada is that all this is because we are in illusion, we are in Maya. If at all, if we want to come out of Maya, just remember the Lord and offer prayers to Him. And here Kulashekar is teaching us that how to offer prayers to the Lord and take His shelter. Each name that Kulashekar has chanted has deep significance, and we can go on discussing for hours together. And just by remembering that name and the significance of it, we get connected to the Lord. And every time you're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prabhupada himself said this, you're getting connected to the Lord. Therefore, chanting the holy names, as of now, might seem bitter, but the only thing that we have to do is continue doing it with enthusiasm, with awe and reverence, without offenses. Naturally, we'll start tasting the sweetness of the holy name. And then when people say, "Bas ho gaya, kitna bhakti karoge?" And we're like, "Nahi, aur karna hai." Yes. अभी तो हम लोग वेट करते हैं कि कोई बोले प्रो जी बस हाँ मैं वेट ही कर रहा था. But then in future when we actually attain the taste for chanting the holy names, we cannot stop. And that's the stage which all of us have to reach before quitting this body. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.